Welcome back to the Hell Motel, where the walls whisper, the shadows move when no one's looking, and trust dies faster than the guests. If you thought things were grim before, episode 4 drags us even deeper into the abyss. The air inside the Cold River Motel feels heavier now, like it knows something terrible is coming. The tension between the survivors is razor sharp, and the question echoing louder than ever is, who's next? Whispers of dark rituals grow louder. Paranoia claws its way into every room. The motel is no longer just a backdrop to a murder mystery. It's becoming something else. Something alive. Something hungry. This is your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this episode, Past Sins Return, the line between madness and belief begins to vanish, and beneath the blood-soaked surface, an ancient evil may be stirring. Or maybe the most terrifying monsters are still wearing human skin. No one is safe, no one is sane, and by the time the credits roll, you'll be questioning everything you think you know about Hell Motel. Turn the lights down low. This is episode 4, recapped, analysed, and pulled screaming into the dark. Let's begin.
Let me get them for you.
Crow is dead. Again. So remember last episode when Crow got attacked and everyone thought he was dead? Surprise, he wasn't, at least not immediately. Episode 4 starts with Paige, Andy, Kawayan, Floyd, Shirley, Adriana and Blake arguing over what to do with Crow's barely breathing body. Kawayan checks his pulse and pronounces him dead, which would have meant something if Kawayan had any medical training whatsoever. Turns out, Floyd ends up finishing the job. Yep, sneaks off and chokes the remaining life out of Crow like he's squashing a bug. So Crow is now actually dead. And everyone's just playing along like, okay, cool, let's move on. You'd think that would be the craziest thing this group does. Think again.
You'll be resting up for your big trek. Sun's gonna be up before you know it.
I plan to wrap this.
Shirley thinks. Kawayan is the killer and kinda wants to date him. Shirley, who has somehow convinced herself she's the only one with brains here, is convinced Kawayan is the mysterious third killer. So what does she do? She confronts him. Bold move, except instead of getting a confession, she ends up admiring his blood art. Yeah, Kawayan, in the most goth boy move ever, explains that he uses his own blood to paint and honor the dead. And instead of running out of there screaming like any sane person would, Shirley offers up her blood to contribute to his next masterpiece. Not only does this woman believe Kawayan is a killer, but she also finds him hot enough to give a blood donation on the spot. If that's not the definition of red flags, I don't know what is. Let's hike. Oh wait, masked killer. Later, the group decides it's maybe time to leave the Hell Motel because, you know, people keep dying. Andy, Kawayan and Blake are all down for the 25-mile hike to the nearest town. Floyd, who clearly has other plans, read human sacrifices, pretends to be concerned but tries to shut the idea down. The moment they step out, all hell breaks loose. First, Crow's severed head is on a stick right outside the motel. Classic welcome gift. And before they can process that, Andy and Kawayan are attacked by the masked killer. The fight gets intense. Andy gets slashed up bad. Kawayan carries him back inside, and the killer, locked out at least for now, Adriana watches the whole thing go down and does absolutely nothing. You helped stab Ruby, Adriana, but when it comes to saving actual friends, suddenly your legs don't work. Also, let's not forget, it's not clear if that was Floyd in the mask or someone else entirely. The editing wants us to believe it's him, but he's just getting ready in his room, putting on his Satan cosplay. So is there a fourth killer, or is this all part of some larger, messier ritual?
With the confidence of someone who once played a nurse who ate someone's arm.
Andy's battle scars and Paige's confusing emotions. Back inside, Paige is patching up Andy and acting way too cheerful for someone who almost just died. Apparently, scars are sexy now. Sometimes she's squeamish around blood. Other times, she's all over Andy like he's a war hero. Paige, please get some emotional consistency. Meanwhile, Blake and Adriana are still hanging out, like they didn't just help kill Ruby a few days ago. Blake decides to go get a deck of cards to pass the time, and suddenly turns into a paranoid detective, accusing people based on muddy shoes. He demands everyone show their footwear because he suspects the killer must have mud from the outside. But if Blake is the killer, then this is an Oscar-worthy performance. Like, calm down, Daniel Day-Lewis. Floyd shuts down the whole shoe witch hunt quickly, and then Shirley steps in with fresh boots to prove their innocence. Nobody stops to ask, hey, why aren't we checking the actual boots Floyd was wearing during the attack? Logic is officially dead in this motel. In the middle of all this, Shirley still won't give up on her Kauaian theory. She goes back to his room and basically demands that he confess to being the killer. Kauaian's just done. He calls her out, says he's over her creepy seductress routine, and basically kicks her out. Good for him. Unfortunately, this probably sealed his fate.
I was taught that God created everything and all of it is good.
You're gonna leave?
Flashback, the satanic meet cute we didn't ask for. Suddenly, the show decides to give us a 30 years ago flashback to explain how Shirley and Floyd got into all this mess. And wow, it's a cringe fest. Apparently, Shirley showed up at Floyd's place after finding his address on a record sleeve. Because yes, he used to be a musician. She barges in uninvited, starts talking about God, Satan, and cosmic pain, and somehow convinces Floyd to join her in summoning Baphomet. Just like that. No build-up, no struggle. 1 minute he's like, who are you? And the next, he's carving goat symbols into the carpet. The pacing here is nuts. It's like the writers knew this part made zero sense, so they just sped through it, hoping nobody would notice. Sorry guys, we noticed. Anyway, they decide to head to the Cold River Motel area to find a mystical energy cluster and ask the demon Baphomet the meaning of life and death. You know, just another Tuesday. Kauaian is brutally killed. The final scenes are as messy as the rest of the episode. Floyd and Shirley decide it's time to begin the culling. They go straight for Kauaian, and the murder is brutal. They stab him, slice him up, and leave him bleeding out in his room. But Kauaian doesn't die immediately. While he's still alive, someone dressed as Baphomet enters. Now, whether that's a hallucination, a costume, or actual Baphomet, the show doesn't clarify. All we see is Kauaian's body being turned into an elaborate art piece with flowers and intestines. It's straight out of Hannibal. And where's the rest of the group while this happens? Apparently, just chilling in their rooms. Blake returns with the playing cards and acts like he didn't just leave for 20 minutes to maybe kill someone. And he stumbles into Kauaian's room and finds the grotesque display, and the timing of it all feels way too convenient.
I can get myself out of trouble just as fast as I can get myself into it.
Is Blake the killer? This is the big question the episode leaves us with. The way the edit is structured, it really wants you to suspect Blake. He goes off to get cards. Kauaian gets murdered. He comes back like nothing happened. Too neat, right? Either the show is doing a classic misdirection, or Blake really is in on it with Floyd and Shirley. Or worse, a copycat killer riding the coattails of this occult chaos. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they all turned out to be in some weird Reddit Satan cult. But the biggest mystery is the inconsistency in these sacrifices. Crow got a quick death. Kauaian, he gets mutilated and displayed like a goat at a demonic art show. Are they escalating the rituals? Is the real Baphomet involved now? And why did nobody notice anything happening in the room next door while all this was going on? The writing keeps creating holes just to fill them with more gore, not logic. Our Nerdy Thoughts episode 4 of Hell Motel doubles down on the blood, ups the mystery, and pretty much abandons all sense. The characters are acting out of pure chaos now. Motivations are unclear, logic is optional, and everything's being sacrificed for shock value. But is that a bad thing? Not entirely. There's something compelling about this bizarre, over-the-top ride. Even when it's stupid, it's still weirdly watchable. You want to know who's next. You want to know if Baphomet is real. And most importantly, you want someone, anyone, to make one sane decision. Next week, maybe we'll finally get some answers. Or maybe we'll just get more blood, more nonsense, and one more person turned into abstract meat art. Either way, we'll be watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more weekly recaps of Hell Motel. And let us know, do you think Blake is in on it? Is Baphomet actually real? Or is this just one massive true crime fever dream gone wrong?
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.